Hey, fourth graders, welcome back. This is Unit 3, Lesson 5. Today we're going to be solving two-step problems. That means they'll involve more than one step that we have to solve in order to get to our answer. So I'm starting us off right away with an example problem that I will solve. I'll be solving a few of them today, and then you'll be trying some on your own and then also on your work today. This says, in the morning, 19 students were working on a science project. In the afternoon, 3 students left and 7 students came to work on the project. How many students were working on the project at the end of the day? So this problem has 2 steps to it. I'm going to write out an equation so that you can see where those steps are all separated. First, it tells me that in the morning, there were 19 students working. So first thing I'm going to write is the number 19. Now I'm going to continue writing my equation as I look for more information. Then it says, in the afternoon, 3 students left. Key word here is that they're leaving, so I know I'm going to need to take them out of the total, so I'll do minus 3. This is our first step. That's going to give me a total. Next, it tells me then that 7 students came to work on the project. So that means they're coming to work on the project. So then I'm going to need to go back to my problem and add 7 kids that will be coming back to work on the project or joining these kids in the workroom. Finally, I'll look at the question that it's asking me to solve. How many students were working on the project at the end of the day? So now I recognize that I've pulled out all of my parts. Part 1 here is subtracting the 3 students who left. Part 2 is then adding the 7 students who came to work on the project. So let's go ahead and get started solving. In order to find, I'll put S for how many students are coming to work at the end of the day as my variable. First, we'll do 19 minus 3, which 19 minus 3 gives me 16. Then I'll do my second step here, 16 plus 7, and that will give me the total amount that I'm looking for to answer my question, which is how many students were working on the project at the end of the day. So 16 plus 7 gives me, if I show the work off to the side here, 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So there are 23, and I'll write the label students, working on the project at the end of the day. So this one had 2 steps to solve. Let's keep on rocking with these 2-step problems. This one says, a team is scheduled to play 12 games. Of those games, 7 will be played at home. The other games are away games. How many fewer away games than home games will be played? Okay, so this one's a little bit different. The second step will come after I've already completed the first one. So let's get ready to solve. First thing I know is that a team is playing 12 games. Of those, 7 are played at home. And then here's the mystery number. It just says the other games are away games. They don't tell me how many of them are away games. I have to figure that out as my first step. In order to figure that out, I could take 12, the total games that they are playing, subtract the 7 home games, and that will equal A for away games. That ends up being 5. So now I know that there are 5 away games, but I'm not done with this problem. The question does not ask me how many are away games. They now ask how many fewer, we're comparing, away games than home games will be played. So now I need to go back and use the home game total, which is 7, and to compare that to the away games, I'm subtracting 5. This is now my second step to get the final answer. I'm comparing how many fewer away games than home games will be played. So 7 minus 5, 2 fewer away games. So in this case, It started by having me solve for the away games and then solving to compare the home games to the away games. Let's keep rocking these examples. Tyler is thinking of a number. If 5 is added to his number and 8 is subtracted from the total, the result is 2. Ooh, I love these puzzle problems. So I'm going to get started by writing out a number sentence or an equation. First, it just tells me that Tyler's thinking of some random number. I don't know that number yet, so I'm going to represent that with a variable n. Let's follow these steps step by step. If 5 is added to his number, keyword added, so n to his mysterious number plus 5, and then 8 is subtracted from that total, so then n plus 5 is something we'll do first, minus 8, it then says the result is 2. Result, keyword for answer, so equals 2. Now, in order to solve for n, I'm going to have to go through a few steps. I'm going to use a strategy I like to call guess and check. So the first number I'm going to try is 10. We'll see if it works. So if I do 10 plus 5, 10 plus 5 would give me 15. Then the next step is to subtract 8. I'm following my number sentence that I have here. 15 minus 8 equals 7. Shoot, did not work. So 10 out of the running, and I know it's going to need to be smaller because I got way too big of a number as my answer, 7, and I need to get 2. So I'm going to go smaller, and let's try maybe 6. So let's try 6 this time. 6 plus 5 equals 11. Then 11 minus 8, the second step there, equals 3. Shoot, I'm so close, but that one did not work. Now, I was 1 away, meaning I was 1 too high. So with my number 6, I was 1 too high. So now let's try 5. I bet this will work. Following the steps, I'll first do 5 plus 5. Remember, n, I'm now using 5 to substitute n here, which equals 10. Then minus 8, that second step. Yay, 2! We found it. So Tyler's mysterious number here, n, happened to be 5. So I could say 5 is his number. I love problems like this because they're like little puzzles you have to solve. I think you are ready to rock and roll on your ticket. Today I have 2 problems for you to solve. Number 1 located right away on top and number 2 right below. You'll notice that both of these problems will be 2-step problems where you'll have to do a little bit more thinking and a little bit more math in order to get to your final answer. Number 1 reads, a garden has 54 vegetable plants. Altogether, the garden has 63 fruit and vegetable plants. How many fewer fruit than vegetable plants are there? Ooh, definitely 2 steps in this one. Take your time as you solve. Take it part by part. Number 2 reads, James has 4 pencils, 2 pens, 12 markers, and 24 crayons. How many more markers than pencils and pens does James have? Be careful with this one. This one's a little bit tricky because there are some pieces that you don't need in your total. Notice they are comparing markers to pencils and pens. So they randomly threw in the crayons there. Don't get tricked by problems like this. Good luck. Take your time. Remember to follow it step by step. I know you will do great.